Now I'm going to turn the mics up. All right, welcome back. I say back because we've been gone for like a month and a half, and I will kind of explain why that is, but we are back. Yeah, we're back. Standing in the Gap podcast. I had a brain fart. I don't know where I was going with that. We're back to Standing in the Gap podcast, coming to you from Faith Baptist Church Studios here in beautiful downtown Eldon, Missouri. I am in studio with my good friend and pastor. And what else do I want to call him? What else do I want to label him?
That's all right. That's good enough.
We'll just go with that. Pastor Wayne Dinwiddie. Brother Wayne, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Got a lot of info in my brain up here. I got to get it out.
Indeed, got to get it out. How's your mic sounding, by the way, to you?
Sounds great.
Sounds good. All right. We had some technical issues going in, so it has been a morning, but I think we've got everything pretty well panned out. And had some, like I say, not only technical issues, but issues with the software. But I think we're ready to fly. Real quick, before we start, I've got a couple of things that I would like to go over. I'm going to back that music out just a little bit. Have it playing real quiet there in the background. Sound all professional. There we go. That's nice. If you have any questions, you can shoot those over to questions.standingpodcast@gmail.com. That's questions.standingpodcast@gmail.com. We'll take questions, prayer requests, anything that you may have. Send over a good question. We may make an episode out of it. So I'll pass it on to Brother Wayne. He'll do his research and we'll just roll with it. So questions.standingpodcast@gmail.com. Also, check us out on Facebook. That is our main and primary communication portal. I know I say it every time, but guys, you need to be following us on Facebook. If you want to know what's going on, and I admittedly, I haven't given you any updates in recent history, but typically, if you want to know what's going on, you need to be following us on Facebook. Now, a couple of more things, and then we'll get rolling here. Because I can see Brother Wayne over there chomping at the bit. He has got the lowdown, got a notebook full of information. Yeah, we've been gone we've been here, but we haven't done a podcast for about a month and a half. I think our last podcast, we had the celebrity evangelist Dylan Novak in studio, and then we had Brother Brandon Jorgensen joining us from South Dakota. He was in, and we did the podcast with him. And I think that was the last one that we actually did in recent history for season 2. So reason being is it's just a busy time of year. We are wanting to get the wives in for an episode. So we had started to kind of plan that. But every time that we wanted to get the wives in for an episode to let you guys kind of meet them, and so we can pick on them and torture them on the podcast. But that's what we wanted to do. Every time we'd start to try to get it scheduled, they had their own things going on. And finally, we just came to a point where we're like, hey, we need to record a podcast and we'll get the wives on later. So here we are. But it is a very busy time of year with Thanksgiving, Christmas, everything coming up. Brother Wayne's been super busy with work. So apologies, but we'll try to get the podcast scheduled a little more frequently. You have my word on that. Okay, that's my commitment to you. Real quick, before I pass it, I'm going to go ahead and save that for after the show. Let's go ahead and get jumped in. I'm going to go ahead and bookmark these subjects here so I can mention those to you post show. But right now, man, I'm anxious to get into this. Brother Wayne, we're going to be talking about, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, President Trump's Project Genesis. Am I correct?
Right.
All right. Give us the lowdown. Give us the poop. Give us the straight poop, okay, Brother Wayne.
Well,
the straight poop.
The book of Genesis in the Bible is about the dawn of third dimensional existence.
Right.
And so, Earth, humanity, life in general. So if you're going to call something Genesis, you're not trying to be cute.
There's a reason.
You're trying to make a statement.
There's intentionality behind that.
Yeah. You're trying to make a statement that you intend on bringing about a new beginning.
That's not good.
Unhappy with the old, or deemed it inferior. So you're going to improve on it. Basically playing God, in my mind, I think, is how I look at that. And looking at things that leading up to this Project Genesis, it just explodes in my brain about what all could possibly take place from this. And I know that's we Bible students that have been reading, studying the Bible for years, our spidey senses are tingling. Put it that way. Can I say it that way?
Mm-hmm.
Spidey senses.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And apologies for not having a sound effect queued up when you said spidey senses.
Oh,
apologies for that.
Well,
I'm slipping in my production duties.
You remember Project Stargate?
Yes, we did a episode. I don't remember what number that was. You can look back in the podcast history, of course. But yeah, we did a whole episode this last, I think, more towards the first of 2025.
That was in January.
January, yep.
When that project came out, that was Trump's first day as president, first full day as president, when he and several AI techs got up and talked about Stargate. And that name represents where the technology comes from, not where they want to go.
Now, not to interrupt you, brother, but what do you mean by that? Like that when you say
Stargate, it's already in the minds of the people. So something's already given them these ideas. Something's already dropped this down to them from a higher existence, if you know what I mean.
Okay. I think I got you.
So they were already building data centers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They said up there's already 10 being built right now, but this influx of money, this $500 billion that was being given towards that, was going to double that. It wasn't like this was some new thing. They were already doing it, and we didn't know nothing about it. They were already building these massive data centers.
Okay, so I think I'm on board now with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the name they get for that it's what they've already been doing. It's already came through the Stargate, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's now coming out as something good for us. You see, they did it behind the scenes up until this point.
This is just what you're saying. This is just the reveal, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. By naming it that. And so Genesis is the same thing. This is something that it's not what they intend to do. It's what they've already been doing, building up to. You see, they did it in the shadows, and it's to where they can't shadow it anymore. They've got to reveal it and put a smoke screen over it, you see. And so, and I'm not necessarily saying Trump is doing this.
You're not saying that Trump is doing it.
I'm not either. Yeah, I'm not saying, or I'm not saying. I mean, he could be just a puppet, like anything else. And there's a lot of good stuff that can potentially come out of this.
Well, isn't that how the devil sells you stuff, though?
That's how it all starts.
Right.
Exactly.
There's good. This is going to benefit you, but so that can be said. Isn't that how he always approaches things? Like, look how good this is going to be for you. Didn't he tell Eve that? In the garden. Like,
that's right.
Look how good this is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The Project Stargate was all about building data centers to hold all the data that is accumulated over a period of time. And Genesis will be all about how to get all that data into one place.
Okay.
Ultimately, your genes.
I wear
Genesis.
I wear American Eagle. I don't have any of my sound effects queued up. That would have been a perfect place for a rim shot. But yeah.
Into your DNA. That's what it's going to come out to.
Oh.
It's packaged differently, but they want to put that all into one place. Those data centers are being built so that they can put all info into one place. And then one being can be all-knowing, you see. One being can be like God, and we can all be little gods with that one being.
No.
You remember?
No.
You just said it a while ago. You remember that was what was pitched to Eve.
Mm-hmm.
You shall be like us. You shall be as gods.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the where this is going to lead to. And I'm not saying that we should be against AI in its form right now. It's probably harmless as far as it's not a demon, but
well, how do we know
it's
though?
harmful in so many other ways, and we'll talk about that after all the research that I've done. But the goal is to fix the old fallen creation without going through God's plan of fixing it through Jesus Christ and the salvation of our souls. They want to get around that, and they want to show humanity they can get around it. You know, anybody that doesn't approve of that or buy into it, you know, they'll do away with. But there'll be good that comes from the info they gather. Info is always, knowledge is power.
Well, information in and of itself is not a bad thing. Like money in and of itself is not a bad thing.
There'll be good things that come from it, but it'll ultimately take away our freedom and put us under bondage to the Antichrist. That's where it's leading. We've all read Revelation, and when you see things like this coming to pass,
mm-hmm.
that you've known forever in your mind, and now just all of a sudden all this stuff's exploding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they use different terminology now than they used to. They're not really even hiding what they desire to do. It's just smoke screened by how much good will come out of it. They say it will transform America, and I agree it already has. AI has taken over my Facebook page.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Fake story after fake story, fake pictures that look real. You have to go back and double look and go into the comments and stuff to see if it's real or
if
fake.
They wanted to, not that you would have any enemies, of course. Here, if somebody really wanted to destroy Pastor Wayne Dinwiddie with the level of AI it is now, they could post things online and make it look like you were doing and saying all sorts of things that would be absolutely 100% convincing.
Yeah.
Could absolutely destroy your life.
Yep.
Even with you could eventually, I'm sure, clear your name, so to speak. But the point is the damage is done. So, and if they can do that to people, that's
yeah. I don't think Americans know what they have signed up for here.
No,
I really don't.
I don't
just remember when we did the study on AI
mm-hmm.
in the Bible,
mm-hmm.
Joshua chapter 10. Uh-oh.
Now, come on, Brother Wayne.
I better shut that ringer off so we don't have that trouble again.
This high production value podcast that we have put together here, and
oh boy. Anyway, during that particular study, we noticed that AI, the way that they got to God's people was that they were small,
mm-hmm.
seemingly insignificant,
mm-hmm.
but they beat them up.
Mm-hmm.
They beat up the Israelites being small and insignificant.
Yeah.
So that was how they we used that as how AI would do, it would just seem insignificant, and it would seem like it's not really a problem. And I think it's going to become one big time. I can see the good in how fast we can get well thought out info,
Well, there again, it's not that it doesn't have good elements to it, and that's how they're going to sell it to you anyway. It's got to have benefit. If they just came to you without any kind of a benefit and just said, this is all the bad stuff that's going to cause, you'd be like, no, I want nothing to do with it. It's got to have benefit. It's got to have good stuff. It's got to accomplish good things in order to sell it to people.
Yeah.
There has to be some kind of benefit to it.
I get the, well thought out info takes a long time. I mean, I'm a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I have several sermons that I have to preach, and it's hours of preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, it'd be nice if I could just spit my thoughts into a program and then it popped me out a sermon.
There's pastors that do that.
I know.
That's what I'm
getting at. That's where I'm going. Yeah, there's a temptation there.
Mm-hmm.
There is a draw to give all over to AI.
Mm-hmm.
And the draw is supposed to be give all over to God,
Mm-hmm.
They're literally are building a God, and it's going to be in everybody, just like the Holy Spirit is in all of its subjects,
Mm-hmm.
It's a counterfeit. So, I mean, I can see the good in how fast we can get well thought out info on how to do something or something in AI, they take all the info from the world and then out pop this machine that will make limbs for people, or any kind of something that like a machine that will you speak into it and it'll come out Chinese, or you know what I mean? Because of all the info that can be packed into one place.
No, it's true.
And so I mean, it's helpful, and man, that reverses the curse, you see.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they want to do, is reverse the curse.
They've already got this, and I know it's kind of a side thought.
The fallen world.
They've already got this thing that I can't remember what it's called, but you put it in your ear, and it translates, and it's already got like 40 or 50 languages in it. Anyway, if you speak Chinese, I put this thing in my ear, and it allows me to understand what you're saying because it takes what you say, it translates it to my own language.
Yeah.
That's already a thing.
Yeah. So we got to be careful. We got to step back and just say, okay, I've got to really watch. I can utilize this, but I've got to really watch to where I got to think about, is it worth it in the end when I can't do anything without consulting AI first?
Right.
And that's what they're after, because that's what God says He wants us to do. Anything we do in life, consult Him first.
Mm-hmm.
Look at His Word, and then know what to do. Well, they're making the AI the God.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do anything without Him. Think about how much worse our memories have gotten since smartphones.
Oh, geez.
Without that phone, we're paralyzed, and our minds are becoming mush.
And this is sad. I literally call my phone my brain.
Yes.
That's what I call it. It's my brain.
That's the goal. That's
if you ask me somebody's number, now wifey's I finally memorized. If you ask me your number, I'd be like, I don't know. I'd have to look it up in my phone because I've got it saved in my phone under Brother Wayne. I don't know what your phone number is.
Yep.
If I had to recall it by memory, not a chance. Not even the remotest of chances.
Yeah, that's right. It does our thinking for us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no exercising of the mind. And so the same thing happens to our bodies. When there's no exercise, they become mush.
Mm-hmm.
It should be common knowledge. People should be saying, and even myself more than I do, should be saying, is it worth it in the end? Can I see how it's transforming me?
Mm-hmm.
It's changing me. And I was a teenager. I remembered everybody's phone number.
Oh, yeah.
It was all up in here.
I
And I had a
remember.
lot of friends and
Hmm.
family and knew their numbers.
That was one of the basic survival skills that our parents would teach us when I was little. Is you need to know your address, you need to know your phone number, you need to know. I remember my phone number from when I was a little kid. Like I could still do 374-1819. Like, and I was a little kid, so couldn't tell you my phone number since I've had my. But at any rate, I mean now I could. But the point being is when I was a kid, I still remember my phone number from when I was a little kid. Most people nowadays with phone, they would have no idea. They have no clue.
Yeah. The powerful elite tell us it's about being able to discover more science, more energy, but
At what cost?
name it Genesis. After the first book of the Bible, we need to pay attention because what I've researched and found by watching these AI techs, I've had a few days to really study on this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there's so much info in my mind about this. This is more about changing what it means to be a human.
That's exactly what it's
And
about.
that's what how they're going to market it. See, it's not changing you from being human, which it will be, but they're marketing it as this is changing what it means to be human. And it's true, we see it in just how when we were younger and now when we're older, things are completely different. The things they've put into this world have caused me to not be as sharp. My ADD's like through the roof.
Oh, mine's nuts.
Because, and I had it always, but it gets worse and worse. It gets harder and harder for me to take in info because there's so much stuff going on around me, feeding me all the time. You know, so I mean, I have to step back and say there's a plan here, and so not so that we'll fear. It's not about fear for us.
No.
Fear is how they control people.
That's exactly.
You see, we've got to step back and say, I got to warn people about this. The serpent told Eve that she could be like God if she would only go after what looked good.
Well, and the Bible clearly says the serpent was the most subtle.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's subtlety.
And it said the fruit was pleasing to her eyes, you know. And so on the surface, you know, it looks good. But
of course it does. It's sin.
We need to look at the long-term outcome. We need to look at the long-term outcome before we get into it back here. That same lie is being told today, but this time it's through AI. Jordan Peterson talked about I forget the name of the guy that he talks to all the time, but he says he's a real religious thinker. He called him a religious thinker. Probably some preacher somewhere. I don't know. I can't remember his name.
You're a real religious thinker there, Brother Wayne.
I know. That's how people call us, you know, religious. But anyway, he said, Jordan Peterson, we're going to see giants roam the earth again. And Jordan Peterson was confirming that through AI. He said and Jordan Peterson's been sick for a long time, hasn't done anything. But he said within a year of him saying that,
really,
there would be a AI giant walking around. Now, however that comes out, you know, that may be one person somewhere that's mingled with technology, the beast, or it could be literal, literal big, big warlike.
I know
machine.
there's no such thing as a gospel of Jordan Peterson, but
he's just a smart guy.
He's just a smart guy, and my thought on that is lots of things in Scripture have both a literal and I don't want to say interpretive, but they have they have dual meanings. A lot of the things in Scripture has a very literal meaning to what you're reading, and then it has a spiritual meaning.
Yeah.
And so I think you might be right in that. It could be very literal. It could be absolutely literal, and as well as what they're kind of alluding to there.
So yeah, the ultimate goal, it could come out in a big robot, but the ultimate goal, their plans to make an all-knowing object that will inhabit everyone. Everybody that'll buy into it will have a piece of this thing in them. You know what that sounds like,
the
right?
Mark of the beast is what that sounds like.
Whoever will take a bite out of the tree of knowledge, or the technology. That's what the word technology.
Words are important. I've said this. I can't handle people like not knowing their native language correctly, or as I think they should. At any rate, words are important, and a lot of that etymology will give you will tell you what's the word I'm trying to look for now that I've said that. But a lot of etymology will tell you, it will reveal to you what the meaning behind that particular move might be. You just look at the word, look at the etymology of the word. Like you were saying, knowledge, it's in there.
That's the kind of knowledge that we need, learning our language. And
yes, I agree.
That's
illiteracy drives me nuts.
That's the knowledge we need.
I can't handle it when people butcher their native language. It's your native language. Come on. Like,
it's no wonder why Apple's logo
is the apple with a bite out of it.
Yeah. It's a technological fruit. And mankind has already taken that bite.
Oh, yeah.
Apple's logo, when it first came out, was Isaac Newton sitting under a tree with an apple tree with one apple hanging down over his head. No bite out of it yet. The next logo was the apple with a bite out of it. And that's what gave them power. That was their genesis at that point. Something, they got people hooked on computers and things at that point. The easy way out of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm right there with them. I mean, I fall into the same category. It's just, what are you going to do?
I love technology.
How can you not do it? But utilize it, but watch, because this is leading to something.
Be its master, not its slave.
There you go. It's very good. It's very good. You got to be very careful. And the thing is that we become its slave and don't even know it.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I thought when I got a smartphone, this is the neatest thing since ice cream.
Doesn't taste as good.
I look back and I see how it's slaved me.
Oh, mine is, and forgive the analogy, mine is glued to my butt 24/7. And if I don't have it, I feel lost. Like, that's everything. That's my contacts. That's my work email. That's my personal email. That's all the information that I need throughout the day is in that little black box in my pocket. That's dangerous. Like, and the thought of turning it off and setting it aside and just leaving it at home for the day, no.
Yeah, you can't do it.
No.
What if your wife is dying on the side of the road and can't get a hold of you?
Right.
All these fears. Fears. That's how it controls us. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going to throw my smartphone away because of what it's done to me. I can't.
No, well, we're at a point now.
I would people would look at me like uncaring. What if one of my people need me to come to the hospital? It's we have to be a part of it. We have to be in it, but not of it. Put it that way. We've got to recognize these things, warn people against what is coming.
And that's scripture, be of the world, be in the world, but not of the world.
Yeah. You have to be able to operate just like everybody else does, but separate when it disobeys God and that's what glorifies Him, and especially if we have the right spirit when we're separating. But technology means a higher organized knowledge, a glorified body of knowledge. That's what technology
Knowledge,
means.
technology.
Yeah. Tech has to do with a higher skill and a higher advancement from the former. Taking a step. Tech knowledge. There's knowledge, and then there's tech knowledge.
Well, and like before,
there's skilled knowledge.
Before we hit the record button today, I was teasing, we were having technology, technical issues, and we got it all worked out. And before I queued the mics up, I told Brother Wayne, man, I hate technology. I just hate it. And that's not, but without it, we wouldn't even have this podcast. We couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I don't hate technology, but I hate sometimes how enslaving it can be. I mean, we need it. Without technology, we wouldn't have a podcast. We wouldn't have the ministry would be crippled.
It becomes an awesome tool.
It does
to show people what it's going to end up being, how it goes right along with the Bible.
Yeah.
It becomes an awesome tool when you're watchful. It's an enslaver when you don't recognize those things and you're just swallowing every new thing that comes along, and you just think, man, this is great. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Well, I look and say, can't we just stay right here for a while? Just stay here.
This is comfy.
Just stay right here for a while. I hate it that they update my phone without my permission.
All the time. I get apps and not so much my phone anymore, but I get apps updated. I'll never even know anything about it. I log into that app and it's completely different.
Yeah, I have to learn a whole new way of doing it.
Yeah, where did my buttons go? Where's my contact? And
so then the temptation is even heavier to let something else learn it for me. To where I don't have to learn that every time. Just let this thing tell me what to do.
Ooh, no, but yeah, the temptation. It's. I'm telling you, if they came in with something right now and said, Tyson, we've got this new software, we've got this new setup, man, the podcast will run itself. All you have to do is turn on the mic and talk, and everything else, production, editing, everything is done for you. But, and then whatever catch it was, you know how tempting that would be?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And then within about 3 months, you'd be looking for how it would turn itself on.
Right. Exactly.
That's the way it's going.
Yep.
That's the goal. And we got to be in it, but we don't have to be of it.
Exactly.
We can recognize what's coming down the pike.
I try to
others about it too.
I'm not real successful with this a lot of times, just being honest. But I try to look at technology, like say our podcast equipment or my phone or computers, as tools. And that's what they are, like a hammer, a screwdriver. There's no difference. It's a tool to accomplish a specific task. And that's the way to look at it, because when it becomes more than a tool that your hands are utilizing to accomplish the goal that you want to accomplish. Now, the tool doesn't do it for you. When you go out to get into your truck, I don't even know what tool to claim. I don't know what tools you use in masonry.
I use a trowel.
Your trowel doesn't. You go out to the truck. Trowel doesn't jump out of the toolbox and do the job for you. And that's the way I try to look at technology. It's still me. I have to do the work. The technology is strictly a tool. That's easier said than done, because a lot of times technology has gotten to a point now where it's not only the tool, but the tool will do the work for you. And that's where it starts to get.
Yeah. So, there's good things like, what do you think Adam used the first time he had to hammer in a tent stake? A rock. He used a rock.
You don't know that.
Well, I'm just saying that. What else would you use? What did Cain kill Abel with?
A rock.
Okay.
Yeah, a rock. Yeah.
Why not a gun?
Yeah.
So it starts with a rock, and then he thinks, "Man, that was kind of tough. I'm tired.
Gotta be an easier way to kill people.
I gotta make a gun.
Well, I think there were some other weapons in between, like swords, spears, knives. Like they didn't just go from rock to 9mm, by the way. Just,
So there's good and bad side
Oh,
by
that's funny.
side in everything, but we got to stand over from the good side and point out the
That's
bad.
it. Yeah.
You see, and like technology has to do with a higher existence, a higher, less laborious work.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, laborious. That's
laborious.
No, laborious.
Labor intensive.
You were like another good phrase, man. Impressive.
Labor intensive. Something does the work for you, and that's good. Even in masonry, I'm thankful for forklifts. Oh man, am I thankful for forklifts.
Heck yeah! Can you imagine doing that without one?
I'm all for working smarter, not harder.
Not harder, yeah.
But I also see the problems it causes when it's not balanced out.
Mm-hmm.
If a job's hurting you and making you physically broken to where you can't do other duties or spend time with your family, balance says either find another job or consider how to make the job easier.
Mm-hmm.
Not let's figure out how not to have to work at all.
Right.
That's
exactly.
There's a balance there.
Mm-hmm.
Got a TV for my office here. Somebody was kind enough to give that to the ministry to use for the podcast, and setting it up, the remote has a voice command feature.
Of course.
And it kept telling me, it kept trying to make me do that before it would go on anywhere else. And I'm not kidding you, that TV was telling me to push a button on here that's not on here. There's no microphone button on there. You see a microphone button anywhere on that remote?
I do not.
There's not one. I'm telling you, there's not one. I had to Google it to figure out how to get around that thing where I could go ahead and set up the TV.
Oh, jeez.
Because it was just stuck there. It wouldn't do nothing else.
Until you input your voice, which was impossible to do.
And there is no microphone button on this thing. But I'm thankful that there's not.
Right.
Because
it would be listening.
I mean, that would be great for people that can't see the buttons or something, but kids and teenagers and lazy people are going to utilize that.
Kids, teenagers,
and there goes
lazy people.
There goes more of a mushy brain, People that don't need it are going to utilize that.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
There's no balance to AI.
That's it. There's no.
It does the thinking for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost impossible to balance AI. And the elite, the powerful, they say that Genesis will build the energy needed to power AI, meaning going to give it its information. It's going to form it, you see, from nothing, basically. That's what Genesis 1:1 is. You see, God formed the earth, and He formed everything in it. So that they're standing from a place of God and building this new beginning, starting this new beginning. But this Genesis is gonna advance humanity, and they compare it to the Apollo program. Imagine that.
Apollo,
the sun god that ascended.
In Greek, his name is Apollyon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. He's about to rise out of the pit. And that's another word like Stargate. When they did that Apollo mission, they didn't come out of nowhere.
Mm-mm.
That was a plan for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you call it Apollo?
Yeah, they don't just pick names out of the air.
No. Why would you call it Stargate? Why would you call it Genesis? There's is already this plan in place that they've been working towards for a long time. You don't just all of a sudden put together a rocket ship and go to the moon.
No.
This took years and years of preparation. And the Apollo program, what did it have to do with? Taking us higher
Mm-hmm.
to dwell among the stars of God. Who desires to do that?
Well, in the Bible,
Who
very clear
will
too.
ascend above the heights of the clouds?
Clouds.
I will be like the Most High. Apollo said that. Well, Lucifer was his name there. But Apollo is the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Zeus, the same person.
Yep.
Jupiter, same person.
Yep.
It's just repackaged. And it should tell us something about the evil side of America. You know, you go to our Capitol and you've got George Washington. They call it the apotheosis.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Apolloing of George Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He has ascended above the heights of the clouds. He's sitting.
I'm telling you guys,
they literally have a painting of clouds and all these pagan gods sitting in a circle, and George Washington sitting among them in our nation's capital.
In the rotunda.
Yes.
Is that what they call it, the rotunda?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's been a plan for a long time, ever since the Tower of Babel. You know, before that, but Tower of Babel, it seems that God squelched it, but then they're bringing it back through other means, just like God drowned all the giants. You know, they're bringing that back through other means. It won't be physical this time. You know, Satan's already tried that. He's got the same plan. He's just got to use different means. And so, sure, it's packaged as a national security program. That's where they get you, fear. That's how all this is packaged for national security. But it turns out to be the very avenue that our enemies are able to utilize to reach the same knowledge level. Like the Manhattan Project. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Maybe if we hadn't fast-tracked to be the first nuclear bomb holders, you know, because we had the money to do it, then all the other nations that have nuclear bombs probably wouldn't have them.
Well, the guy that started it, created it, he quoted some old Indian religious text and said, "I have become the destroyer of worlds," or something like that. When he saw the first nuclear test, he's like, "Oh, you know, I done messed up," but it was too late at that point. So,
yeah. So no other country would have been able to obtain the technology, you know, if we hadn't fast-tracked it, and then our scientists who are corrupt sell that knowledge in their basement, from their basement to China or Russia or wherever, and then everybody's got a bomb.
Well, and Project Paperclip. Our scientist, I don't even know if I don't really want to get into this, but just as a side note, our scientist, we brought all those Nazi war criminals, the scientists working for the Nazi war machine. When we won the war, we brought those scientists over and put them to work for us. So a lot of our technology, the Manhattan Project, a lot of that technology around that time was, and the Nazis were known for occult and occultic work. That's how they gained a lot of their technological information, was through occult connections. And we brought those scientists over instead of putting them on trial. We brought those scientists over and put them to work for us. And a lot of that has origins in the occult. The technology and the occult are they are far more intertwined than what most people think.
Yeah.
So
if you want to get real advancement, involve a demon. That's it.
Jack Parsons, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, Aleister Crowley.
Anything.
But I digress.
You know, and because of that, Germany was first, basically. Germany was raised, they were aspiring to be the highest power. That's where all that took place. And that's where the knowledge lied, in someone fast tracking and willing to do anything to be first.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't like the America First agenda, because in all of what we're being told is that it means America is going to be first as far as who we take care of. But what Trump means by it is America is going to be at the top. America is going to be the highest.
Mm-hmm.
You see.
Mm-hmm.
And so anything that America does gets sold to our enemies because of the love of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's how things that happen. You just think about anything that goes on when somebody comes out with something that's new.
Mm-hmm.
Say the first time that Chevrolet came out with the AFM or DOD, they call it, displacement on demand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then every other company then throw knockoffs of that into their vehicles. How'd they get that technology? They didn't have it before.
Mm-mm.
You know, it's because somebody wanted to be first, get ahead of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You see.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything that America does for this agenda ends up where we just have to keep going higher, because as soon as we hit that point, then everybody else hits that point too. Then we got to go higher.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else hits that point. So to keep feeding your pride and your desire to be rich, you know, they say AI will cure diseases, and it makes it sound noble and like the right progress.
Well, yeah, you don't want grandma to die, do you?
No.
You don't want, we could save grandma. Yeah, that's not a bad thing, is it?
You wouldn't think so.
Well, then let's
What if she's 120?
Exactly. Maybe grandma doesn't want to be saved. Like, I mean, not like spiritually saved, but maybe grandma wants to go. Like, I think when I if I'm fortunate enough, or if we're still here, I think once I approach that age, 90, 100, you're ready to check out. You're ready. You're like, I'm ready to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm ready to go home. So I don't think grandma wants to hang around here till she's 120.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom's like 80 something. Like, this is terrible. I don't know my mom's exact age. She's like 83, I want to say 84. And we've had conversations. She's already to that age. She's like, and she feels good, but she's just like, yeah, I'm pretty much ready to go anytime. I think you get to that point. So yeah, grandma doesn't want, it may be a good thing to keep grandma around from your point of view. But grandma's probably ready to check out. So just my 2 cents. Don't keep me around longer than I'm supposed to be here. That's the moral of the story. When it's time for me to check out, let me check out. I'm going home. I'm finally going to get some rest.
I went to visit a lady in the nursing home one time. Her whole family was there. I knew them very well, and they wanted me to pray for her, pray with her, and she was 90 something. But I mean, this lady had been through the ringer, and they kept her alive. And she was a born again believer.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down there, sat beside her, and started talking to her, and said, "Do you know Jesus?" And she said, "No, and I don't want to know."
Oh.
Just like that. And everybody around the bed said, "That's not Mama. That's not Mama." And so, it's caused me to think, what has inhabited that person?
Mm-hmm.
You keep them around too long. And I'm not saying that she was the one saying that,
Right.
I'm saying that something else was there, maybe, possibly. I just, experiences that I've had, it's like, why keep someone alive when because her mind was gone long before that.
But what fills it's a vacuum. So if something's missing, something's going to fill that space.
Yeah. And I understand the temptation to want to keep our loved ones here as long as possible. I do.
Have you seen, not to interrupt, but this falls right in line. We were watching it either I think yesterday evening, the evening before, irrelevant. But they've got a thing now where they've got an AI program where you can they create an AI version of your deceased loved one that you can communicate and talk to. And what they do is they take all the information available on that deceased loved one, all online information, any information you give them, like stories that you may have, you feed them all this information. And then this company creates an AI virtual of of your deceased loved one that you can communicate with at any time.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's necromancy.
Reversing the curse.
That's necromancy. And I know it's not,
Yeah.
you're not actually contacting, but it's necromancy.
Yeah, but how do they have the feelings that it's actually the person?
Right.
You know, it's reversing the curse.
Mm-hmm.
Death doesn't matter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I just live on in AI.
They had this one guy, he was like, well, I just couldn't I really felt a hard time coming. He contradicted himself. He goes, I know it's not actually my mother, but I had a really hard time letting mom go. And this way I feel like I still can have a connection with her, but I understand she's gone. Well, no, you're contradicting yourself. You're not even allowing yourself to get through the first stage of grief.
Yeah.
You're trying to bypass, and those stages of grief are necessary.
And to bypass God is what
you're trying to bypass all of that. And that's just,
Yep. So they say that AI will cure diseases, and it makes it sound like it's the right thing to do. But that's the same thing that Satan told Eve. And she fell for it without searching for any other counsel.
If they came and they said, hey, Wayne, we've got a way with technology to, your neuropathy won't hurt you. You never have to worry about that again.
Yeah.
But here's what you got to do for it.
Yeah.
You'd be tempted.
You got to do some gene therapy.
You got to do some gene therapy. Like, what do? You're like, well, no more pain. No more pain. But then I got to do gene therapy. But no more pain.
They rearrange your genetic code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's one thing that, I forget that guy's name now, but one of the AI techs said that they'd be able to eventually do. But I know from Miss Rose Sechrist that comes to our church that's fought cancer 4 or 5 times and beat it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've tried to tell her that she needs to have this done so that her kids can be vaccinated against those cancer cells. So I know it's already being done.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's something that they're using to get us to buy into it. You know, they're already doing this stuff.
Whatever we know about it, we don't even know about it. I forgot who had said this, but or the exact quote, but by the time we get the information, by the time it's released publicly, by the time we know about it, you've got a 10-year history there.
Yeah.
Like it's already been in place for at least 10 years by the time you hear about it.
Yeah. So when Rose would ask me, what should I do? What should I do in these situations? Well, it's up to you, but you asking the question is the first part of what we're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. You get counsel
right
before you jump headlong into something. Eve didn't go to Adam and say, hey, should I do this?
No,
Adam would have said, heck no.
No. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's why the serpent didn't go to Adam.
He did what a good husband would do and died with his wife. Mm-hmm. That's what took place there.
Yeah.
And so she took that fruit without any counsel at all. And you know, there was a reason that God concealed that knowledge from Eve, because it would end up killing her. You know, God knows everything. Why? Proverbs 25:2 says it's the glory of God to conceal a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the honor of kings is to search out a matter. Meaning, God has a reason for concealing things. Or God gets glory from the fact that his ways are past finding out. Mm-hmm. You know, but the way we become wiser and more honorable is by looking into things and not falling for tricks of the enemy to bring to light the works of darkness. That's where we get. That's a honorable thing, is to not fall into every little hole that you get it. That anything that's presented to you, get counsel. Search out that matter before you jump into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the honor of kings. That's being smart. See, what the world's doing is just taking the very next, that fruit's dangled in front of them, and they're grabbing it. They're not researching what that's going to do to them, how bad it is for their body later.
Mm-hmm.
None of that stuff.
Nope.
We hear in one place that this Genesis is going to cure diseases, and we applaud it. And why wouldn't we? But how are they going to cure diseases is the question that we should be asking.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Ellison, that's that guy's name, that AI tech.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Ellison, the chief technology officer at Oracle, said that at that White House press meeting where Trump introduced Stargate, he said at that conference, once we gene sequence this cancer tumor or that cancer tumor, you can then make an mRNA vaccination for that cancer cell and vaccinate people against that cancer. Mm-hmm. And they can make that vaccine in 48 hours. How long did it take to make a vaccine in World War One? Or
exactly.
two?
Yeah.
It was years.
Mm-hmm.
And think about the danger that is packaged with that, with just the vaccine they made for COVID. Mm-hmm. How many people dropped dead in their tracks somewhere? Now the FDA only admits to like 55 or something like that, and 10 of them were children. Mm-hmm. But a lot of other reports came in with the same MO as those people that dropped dead that never even got looked at, that never even got questioned.
Yep.
It was never questioned. And so, I don't know. It sounds wonderful, but look at what happened in the past with fast tracking stuff. It's always ended badly in my mind. Mm-hmm. GM. I'm a GM lover. I like Chevrolet.
You don't say.
I like Chevrolet. I like GMC. I just like the way they drive, the way they sit. I don't know. I sit in a Ford. I just feel like I'm reading an NIV or something. No, I can't help it.
GMC stands for Garage Mechanic Companion.
Okay, yeah. That's fine. That's okay. I'm all right with that. But it's not anything against those things. I understand their worth. It's just not for me.
Right.
But GM is going through something like this in that they discovered that lighter oil weights will give you 0.0007 more miles per gallon.
True, but the overall life of your engine, how many miles is it shortening it?
That's what they're finding out after the fact. After the fact, you see, that's the type of stuff you don't fly into.
Right.
The 6.2 engine, the 6.2 liter engine, is one of the best ones for power and fuel efficiency, all that GM has put out. And they ruin it by changing the oil in it to these lighter oils. My mind went blank there. Lighter weight oils. Zero. They're zero weight. Do you realize? Zero weight oil in these vehicles.
They've got to have some viscosity to it.
No viscosity. Only gas mileage. That's all that matters.
Well, no.
They're going to save you $1 a month and make you buy a new truck every year.
That's what it comes down to right there.
But listen, this is the same type of thing that we see going on in society. And they did this in all their vehicles. Little kid hauler or grocery getter, fine. But the trucks are throwing rods.
Grocery getter.
They're literally throwing rods.
Well, yeah.
And it's the 6.2 engine alone has cost GM $1 billion in recalls. $1 billion just in that one engine. And so look at the cost later. This is the idea I'm trying to put out there. I'm not against advanced knowledge. We get it every time we smash our finger. And we say that's smarted. You ever use that term?
Sure.
Well, you've heard other people use it, I'm sure, on Andy Griffith or something. That smarted. Well, that's because it made you wiser now, and I'm not going to let that happen again. That's good stuff. That's the good kind of knowledge and advanced knowledge. But in this day and age, we aren't learning from our mistakes anymore. We're given, or we're going deeper into the abyss. We're not learning what will better us in the long run, but what will give us instant gratification.
And
that's
what it boils down to, is instant gratification.
Yeah, that's right. There's one pathway to heaven, right? That's Jesus. But there's myriads of pathways to hell. We've got to realize that.
Yep.
That's why Jesus said, narrow is the way. And he's talking about himself. He's the only way to get to that higher plane. We sing that song, Higher Ground. A higher plane, no higher plane than I have found. I'm going to plant my feet on higher ground. That's Jesus. Now, they're trying to do it without all of that. See, the devil, he's going to use an abomination to look like the right choice. That's what he's leading up to. He's going to use something that is so way bad and off. I mean, we should have seen it coming by revelation. AI, come on now. This is the image that's going to speak and cause it all would worship it. That's already taken place. You see, people are already worshiping it. People are already needing it for everything that they do.
Yep.
And so, we can say, oh, I'm saved and I won't fall for none of that stuff. So why should I care anything about what these things could cause? Just live it up, enjoy life. But that's essentially what Cain said to God when God said, where's thy brother? Cain said, am I my brother's keeper? That bore out his heart. God would want Cain to say, I am my brother's keeper. We are to pay attention to these things. That showed his heart. Who cares about my brother? But we're supposed to have the attitude of God in that whole story. God cared about Cain even after he killed Abel.
Yeah.
The reason he sent him away out of the land was to keep him safe. Because he knew somebody would kill him. So he cared about Cain enough. And that's the story of Israel to a T. That was a picture. Israel killed their brother, Jesus. And so it's all right there. Remember what God told Ezekiel in Ezekiel 33. I think this is the first scripture passage we're going to read. Man,